Hey, I'm Aodhan, and I'm here chatting with Milky. Yeah, well, I guess all this music stuff sort of happened, I guess, a while ago. My dad's a musician, so music's kind of always been around. So I kind of picked up like a set of plastic strings and on a guitar and started playing with that for a bit when I was roughly 5 years old. And then eventually I got to about 12 years old and started messing around with Logic and all that stuff. So kind of started producing and writing songs and stuff, and that's kind of where it all stemmed from, really. My new song, Empty Spaces, which is out today, it's kind of like I kind of tried to really recreate 12 Again production-wise, or at least something kind of similar, something to sort of match that energy. This song's about my first ever big breakup with my first ever real relationship. Yeah, it was just kind of just goes through the emotions that I was feeling, and it was pretty heavy. It was a pretty heavy time, I think, especially when it was kind of like my decision in the first place. I think it was kind of like I didn't really know what was happening, so that's kind of what it's about. So it's pretty heavy, but I try to turn it into this kind of fast-paced sort of moody sort of track, really. I guess the visuals and the video and stuff, I kind of just wanted it to be like this sort of band live type feel with a couple this kind of moody sort of thing going on, and also just have kind of like these sort of weird moments of behind the scenes sort of stuff. Just kind of something that can sort of, I don't know, just make it so it's just not just like me and my band playing the song and stuff. My debut EP, Flies in My Room, which came out last year. I guess a lot of the themes are sort of about my experiences as a young person and just kind of stuff I've experienced over the years as a teenager. And it sort of wasn't something I planned out, really. I kind of got to the end of finishing the EP and sort of realized all of these themes were sort of connected into this whole thing about youth and stuff like that. When I was roughly 13, I started really expanding my tastes a little bit. Before that, I was super into electronic stuff, and that's kind of what I started producing. And that's how I learned how to use things like Logic and stuff like that. So I was super into kind of this dance electronic music stuff and was learning all that. So I was playing with a lot of synths. And then I started listening to a lot more guitar-y sort of music, a lot of indie music and stuff. And I think it's all just inspired by everything that I've just grown up listening to, stuff that I got into myself, and just having those background skills as an electronic producer to sort of intertwine this this indie pop sort of stuff. I guess you could call it that. There's not much of a set process when it comes to my songwriting, really. I will find myself sometimes sitting down with a guitar and pen and paper and stuff and coming up with something, and other times I would sit up here and make a track first, and mess with sounds, and so it kind of all varies. I kind of draw inspiration from lots of things, I guess. Absolutely, I do think it's very different when it comes to writing with other artists and stuff like that. I really quite enjoy doing it because I find that when it's my ideas, I get really all in my head about it, and I want them to be good, and I want them to be a particular way. But when I'm working with other artists who are kind of just spitting stuff out and kind of I'm working with these people and getting all these ideas from other people, I'm sort of able to work differently and work with these ideas a bit differently and sort of just go wild with it. And it usually turns out really awesome. Like it's really fun. It's very interesting. I think maybe 12 again, because it's my favorite. Production wise, it's just everything that I kind of really wanted to hear for that project, and what I kind of still want to hear for some future projects and stuff as well. It's a hard one though. I think a lot of my best songwriting came out of my song Daily Meditation on that EP. So I think a lot of the lines on there I'm very proud of. I think one, for example, is like, and if you won't, that's okay, I'll just use my imagination, because thinking of you is like my daily meditation. And I remember sitting in my room just like freaking out about like I was like getting all hyped up that I had written that down. I was like, what? How did that happen? Yeah, that was pretty exciting to kind of have that just sort of come to me, I guess. Well, I've got a 5-piece band, which consists of me on lead, vocals, and rhythm guitar. Got a lead guitarist, keys, bass, and drums. So pretty like standard, indie rock sort of setting, I guess. But yeah, there's a bit of everything. We kind of throw in the softer tunes and then like bring it back up. And like, we start pretty strong and then go into, it's kind of like an album almost. You kind of start really strong and then go into like the softer stuff, and then it just comes right back up again at the end. Oh man, just honestly, I've never been overseas before, so this is just as a whole just really new and exciting. So I just want to be able to like experience whatever I can while I'm there. It's gonna be like pretty like back to back while I'm there, because I don't think I'm gonna get many breaks and gonna be able to see much. But yeah, I'll just try to take it all in and just try and get around to whatever I can whenever I can, I guess. So yeah, it should be sick. I'm really looking forward to it. Just trying not to forget any words, really. Just like thinking ahead, thinking of what lyrics are coming. That's kind of the main thing, I think. But yeah, it's kind of a blur a little bit as well. Like trying to think about what I think about on stage is like trying to remember a dream or something. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Wallows, they're by far one of my biggest bands. So that's a hard one. I feel like I've done a lot of really cool dream collabs before. I did one with Josh Pike and Daywave, a lot of my favorite artists. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it's kind of hard now. I've kind of just hit all my goals, really. Probably Nothing Happens by Wallows. I really want to say Scott Pilgrim, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's I've tried writing in that sort of area before. I just haven't been able to compare to those fucking awesome songs on that thing. It's just so good. The best, in my opinion, in 2022 would probably be Talk by Biba Doobie, which was released not too long ago, actually. So yeah, absolutely slaps. I love it. I love that song. Miley Cyrus. The first song I ever loved singing ever was This Love by Maroon 5. There's like this clip of me when I was like 2 or something and singing it. It's adorable. I think it was Taylor Swift's Red concert. I went. It was a great show. But I went for my sister, who is still such a big fan. Royal Blood in 2017, I think. In Rainbows by Radiohead. Spice Girl. Yeah, I don't know. Aodhan Spice? I don't know. Either Yours and Ours or this North Gong gig that my band and I did. Both were like really cool audiences and like really hyped up. It was fun. I didn't feel so guilty about it before, but I think now it's probably like MGK's first pop punk album. Yeah, please forgive me for that. Wallows. I think maybe like Olivia Rodrigo for like bringing back a lot of that sort of pop punk sort of stuff. Yeah, I guess it's still quite pop, but it still does have those kind of flavors, and that's kind of brought this whole scene back, I guess. Just be patient, I think. This was like 2016. I went to this Year 6 camp thing, and I got up to sing Riptide with one of my friends who was just going to play guitar while I sang. And he kind of just asked me out of the blue just as we're about to go on for this little talent show night we had on one of the days there, and I did it, and I kind of just saw the look on everyone's face, and everyone was like so surprised, and I was like, you know what, I could probably get used to this, like, but yeah, I think once I realized that I could sort of do it, it was like, man, I love this, so yeah.